Most people believe millionaires are born different, smarter, luckier, more connected. But psychology tells a far more uncomfortable truth. The difference between ordinary people and millionaires is not intelligence, talent, or background. It is a single internal shift, a mindset most people never make, because it quietly challenges how the human brain is wired. And once you understand it, you'll never look at money or yourself the same way again. Here's the first truth most people avoid. The human brain is designed for survival, not wealth. Your mind is built to avoid risk, preserve energy, seek comfort, stay consistent. That's why most people stay where they are, financially, emotionally, socially, even when they hate it. Millionaires don't escape this instinct by being fearless. They escape it by thinking differently about discomfort. Ordinary people ask, how do I avoid losing money? Millionaires ask, how do I increase my exposure to opportunity? This single question rewires everything, because the brain treats loss avoidance and opportunity expansion very differently. Loss avoidance keeps you small. Opportunity thinking makes you adaptable, and adaptability is the true currency of wealth. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Millionaires do not see money as something to protect. They see money as something to deploy. Most people hoard money emotionally. They attach fear to it. They see spending as danger. Millionaires see money as a tool, neutral, mobile, replaceable. Psychologically, this detachment is powerful, because when you stop being emotionally attached to money, you stop making fear-based decisions. And fear is the biggest tax poor thinking pays every day. Now let's go deeper. Ordinary people wait for clarity before they act. Millionaires act before clarity appears. Why? Because clarity is not a prerequisite for progress. Motion creates clarity, not the other way around. Most people want guaranteed outcomes, perfect timing, zero risk. But wealth exists in environments that are uncertain, messy, incomplete. Millionaires train their nervous system to tolerate uncertainty longer than others. That's not confidence. That's conditioning. Here's something rarely discussed. Millionaires are not more motivated. They are less emotionally reactive. They don't panic as easily. They don't celebrate too early. They don't collapse under temporary losses. Psychologically, they operate from delayed emotional response. Where ordinary people feel first and think later, millionaires think first, then decide what deserves emotion. This emotional delay gives them an unfair advantage, because markets reward patience, not impulse. Here's something rarely discussed. Millionaires are not more motivated. They are less emotionally reactive. They don't panic as easily. They don't celebrate too early. They don't collapse under temporary losses. Psychologically, they operate from delayed emotional response. Where ordinary people feel first and think later, millionaires think first, then decide what deserves emotion. This emotional delay gives them an unfair advantage, because markets reward patience, not impulse. Millionaires ask better questions, not, what if this fails? But what does this teach me if it does? That's a psychological reframe most people never adopt. And without it, every setback feels like proof you should stop. Another uncomfortable truth. Millionaires think in decades, not weeks. Ordinary people are emotionally attached to short-term results. They want proof quickly. Default text validation early. Rewards now. Millionaires delay gratification not because they're disciplined, but because they understand compounding. Compounding is invisible at first, boring at the beginning, unimpressive early on. But psychologically, they trust process over emotion. That trust is rare. Here's where velvet psychology comes in. Most people don't fail financially because they lack knowledge. They fail because their self-image cannot hold wealth. If you secretly believe money changes people, wealth is unsafe. Rich people are greedy. You don't deserve abundance. Your subconscious will sabotage you long before success arrives. Millionaires reprogram this quietly. They normalize wealth in their minds before it appears in reality, because the brain will not allow you to hold what it doesn't feel familiar with. So let's say it plainly. The mindset that turns ordinary people into millionaires is the ability to stay calm in uncertainty, detached from outcomes, and committed to long-term thinking without emotional collapse. That's it. Not hustle, not luck, not motivation, psychological stability under pressure. And here's the final truth. Anyone can learn skills. Anyone can copy strategies. But very few people are willing to retrain their nervous system for wealth, because wealth is less about money and more about who you become while pursuing it. If this video shifted how you think even slightly, then you're already ahead of where you were before watching. Stay here. Subscribe if you want more psychology-driven insights like this. And remember, money doesn't change people. It reveals the mindset they were already living with.